Hey there, Juan Morales here, and in today's episode we're going to cover something I like to call the operating lens principle. And this is a very useful principle for anybody really, but especially for entrepreneurs, because it's meant to help you realize where you're coming from and how you're approaching a particular problem or a particular situation in your life and what you can do to make that better. So the first thing you have to understand is that when we're looking at reality, we're not seeing reality the way it is. We're seeing it through this lens. It's a lens that we wear that we may not be aware that we're wearing it, but it's a set of lenses that we keep wearing. And the best way to me to show you that is imagine a book that you haven't read. And can you sense there's a difference between reading the book just for the sake of reading the book versus if I tell you, read that book, but pay special attention to what X character is doing in it? Absolutely. Why? Because now you're looking for that. And that's what the lens means. So what happens is we have a lens, and that lens is looking for certain traits, certain things, certain outcomes, or certain features to identify itself. And this lens is what we use to evaluate problems. It's what we use to take action. It's what we use to make decisions. Now, many times what happens is our emotions affect the lens we're looking at something through. And because our emotions are a reaction to many things that can happen, it is very easy for us to change those lenses and not even notice that we're doing that. So it's very easy to drop down into lenses of embarrassment or shame or unworthiness or any of those, because those lenses are only looking for the evidence of themselves, right? Those lenses, like any lens on a camera, would be something that just shows you certain things. Imagine there's a camera and it has an infrared lens. So it shows you what's happening in an infrared way. And there's other types of lenses where imagine that we have the same types of things, but just that for us it has to do with beliefs themselves. And these lenses look at something and they're trying to fit a belief to be true whenever we're looking at something. That's why when we get caught up in thinking we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not going to make it, it's not worth it, all those things are coming from that lens. And I want you to think about it. What lens are you operating from? Because we're always operating from a lens. I'm operating from the lens right now of being a mentor, of wanting to teach. So I'm saying these things in the essence that this audio, when it gets to you, really strikes a chord and really teaches you something. But if I wanted to express it in a different way, I'd just change the lens and the topic may be the same, but I'm addressing it differently. So next time you are faced with a challenge, the first thing you want to look for is what lens are you using to try to solve that. If it's a victim lens, one of these things where all you're looking for is evidence that it's impossible to make it, well, guess what? It will be impossible to make it for you because you're thinking that way. And through that lens, it is impossible. But when you shift that lens and you're able to look at reality with a deliberate lens that you've chosen, that you need for something, that changes the game. And when you're looking at someone or you're evaluating any potential problem or potential solution to anything you have in your business or in your life, you always want to A, look at what the lens is you're coming from, and then B, choose the right lens that suits you the best. And simultaneously, you can switch those lenses as you see fit. Because it may be that it's just not one lens that's required. One of the things I do with my clients when we're helping them go through their offers and make their offer stronger so their market wants it more, is that we go through their offer with different lenses. One of the lenses is how much time does it take? Another lens is how much energy does it take? Another lens may be how much money is involved here. Another lens may be how much are we appealing to self-interest. So by doing this exercise where I'm shifting the lenses, I'm able to see gaps that I wasn't able to see before. And the reason I tell you about this, even though it's a more advanced part of the strategy, is that you can look at a problem and you can look at it with separate lenses. And every time you go through that problem, you're going to see something different. So in a way, if you want to evaluate solutions or you want to find a way to get out of a problem, by having different lenses and approaching the problem from different angles, it'll give you a broader perspective, a more complete perspective, a perspective that will actually allow you to solve that problem. Till next time, this is Juan Morales signing out. I'll see you on the next one.